Can I just say, when you walked in, I felt a different Monica when you walked in.
New Monica?
I felt this energy walk in the door.
Really? Is it not usually here?
No,
I mean, you
know
always
what?
are
Let me just
a vibe.
say this. You always are vibing. You always got the personality.
Yeah.
Because you're just like sister girl. But when you walked in the door today, it's like this aura around you.
Regalness.
Like this spirit that just came in I felt like power.
Really?
Yes, I felt like power. Like you were ready to conquer the world. Like a sense of confidence that walked in, and I don't know where that it just felt like you were like, if you were a hip hop artist, you'd have kicked in the door.
Wait a minute. You
know
can be R&B and kick down doors. She said she kicked down the doors and smack your chick.
I think that it's just that I'm okay. I'm really okay with everything that's happening, personally and professionally. And typically, one ain't right when the other one is. But at this point, I just understand that nothing happens for nothing.
Yeah.
And so every day, I wake up with purpose. And to me, if you have purpose, sometimes we don't know what it is, but I've kind of figured out what that is at this stage. Because for me, it's changed over the years.
Absolutely.
It's been different things at different times. Like before, I would have never been able to come to work my kid's first day of school. But I understand that I'm able to say, listen, okay, Mom, this is what we'll do. We get on FaceTime, we do this, we do that. We're just finding a level of balance and purpose that just kind of keeps me motivated and moving. And then, too, if I don't do it, who's going to do it? You know, there's no label. There's no staff. I mean, we are the label, let me be clear. Mon Denise is Monica Denise. So it's me all day, every day. I'm fortunate enough to have some help, but it's like the three of us. That's big difference from those huge companies doing things.
Yeah.
And so I understand that I have to make it happen. And a lot of what I'm trying to teach my children, I'm teaching them through my actions. I don't just constantly say it. If I can't do it, you know, then how exactly are they to learn? Because they don't typically do what we say, they do what they see.
Absolutely.
So that's been my motivation most every day, because I slept for about 45 minutes. But I still feel good.
Yeah, you was in the studio last night.
We've been at it every night. We've been at it every night. No joke.
Let me ask this. You just started saying, you know, when you started talking about it's just you three doing this label, doing this.
Right, independent.
And then you started talking about what it took just to make that performance. In an average day, where do you go? Like, do you have like a practice place in your house? Do you go to a studio? Like, what does that look like for you?
So I don't do anything at home. I don't record at home. I don't rehearse at home. Home is home. It's the place where the only thing that I am is mom. That's it.
I love that.
That's it. So some people are shocked that I, because you know I like living in the country. So people are shocked that I still drive way up here and record and, you know, do all that. But I enjoy keeping that separate so that when I'm there, they don't feel like I'm pulled in different directions. I'm pulled enough when I'm not there. So I don't do that at home. So I come way up to the city, and an average day, if I'm in Atlanta, we could be taping a television show. I'll be doing press stuff, making runs. I'll shoot back down to the school. Typically, if it's a game or somebody got something going on, I don't want to miss it. So I'll shoot down there. I'll shoot back up here in time enough to grab something to eat, record. If I'm on the road, it's completely different. From flying in to sound check to hair to makeup to making them rehearse so I can hear and make sure everything sounds right. It just changes day by day, but it's a grind that I like.
Yeah.
You know, it's a grind that I enjoy. If I didn't enjoy it anymore, I mean, I took a break for 4 years before. I know what having like somewhat of a normal life feels like too. So I've always, from 12 years old to now, it's still been something I enjoy. I still enjoy getting on stage.
Yeah.
I still enjoy meeting people. I'm a people person, so that makes that part easier. But it's just something I still love.
But I have to ask though, you're saying this is the first time you're doing this independently, so that's way more work than you've ever dealt with. You got them babies. You're going through a divorce. You have a #1 song. Do you take time for Mo though? Like even in the midst of loving the chaos, like when do you take time for yourself, self-care?
I just started doing that. Like somebody was asking me, oh, what type of facials you get? Like facials, girl, I ain't got time for no facials. I can count the facials I've had on one hand.
Monica, wait, this is a true story. I was legit talking to my best friend about you yesterday. She said she saw you at the airport and was talking about your skin. She was like, yeah, you know, rich people, they get facials every day. I'm like, yeah, she must get facials every day.
I should tell.
What?
Well, I'm not rich, but that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I literally, I just started doing things like I got a massage for the first time.
First time?
It was. I think Melinda got me one years ago, and then I had one for the first time, a week ago. So I've never taken time to do certain things. So I'm learning that. My uncle just passed, Gus Thornhill. Amazing man in the city, but for us, we're missing a piece of our family. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I went to Vegas. I sat in the Four Seasons and did a bunch of nothing. I went to a magic show. I saw Chris Angel Mind Free. We went and we had massages. I just sat in a cabana for 5 hours, and I was like, damn, this is good.
Yeah.
There it is.
Who knew? But you learn over time, because even though it looks like you see my vacations are for my kids.
Yeah.
So I'm planning, I'm
it.
orchestrating,
Yeah.
I'm making sure nobody's doing anything they're not supposed to be doing.
Right.
So I'm learning.
All
I'm
right.
learning.
Monica, me plus you. Yes.
Said you gonna put the conjure on him, girl? What you doing?
I'm grown.
Stop, girl.
I'm grown.
Okay, so got a new album coming?
Yeah, chapter 38. It's just all about so many changes, unexpected ones, some expected, all took place. And so I just found a easier way for me to voice how I feel. It's hard for me to be asked so much about what's happening to me, but it's easier for me to sing about it because that's always what I did. I always kind of sang through whatever was happening. Yeah. So chapter 38 is exactly that. So this fall.
Why is it called chapter 38? Because of your birthday?
Because I'm 38 years old, and this is just a chapter in my life where a lot of things, I wasn't expecting so much of it. And it gave me a lot of inspiration content-wise, because I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
Who else is facing something that maybe they weren't expecting, but trying to make the best of whatever is happening. So that's what it's all about. And I just kind of walked through a lot of layers of love. I walked through heartache. I walked through the joys, the pains of a lot of different things, that I experienced. I'm shamelessly talking about it.
What was the most unexpected thing you experienced?
Well, that's easy. Divorce, I would have to say. Secondly is my inability to take some time for me. That was I didn't notice it until this year. I would also have to say the toughest part is the judgment that sometimes comes with it. For the most part, people have a good idea for what type of person I am, because I've been so open so long. So I think people have a good idea, but I think also what they're starting to find is I am the girl that people can open up to, but I don't open up a lot. And so the idea that, she's too friendly, she got a lot of friends, it's actually quite the opposite. I'm a friend to a lot of people that aren't friends of mine, if you understand what I mean.
No, I completely
keep
understand.
everything, I handle everything all on my own. So it's been a lot. It's been a big transition, but for me, I lead with love, and that's not always easy if you don't feel loved.
See, and that's a beautiful thing. And we were talking earlier about co-parenting and this new surprising thing, you going through this divorce, but you're doing it so amicably. And that's why Frank was saying you're kind of like this new model for this co-parenting dynamic, because you everything has been led with love. The way you speak about him, the things you say, the things you don't say.
I can speak like that about him because I do love him.
Yeah.
See, there's a difference. For some people, when something doesn't work, they allow all of the negative things to
overshadow,
take complete control.
Yeah.
And so I don't allow those parts to take complete control. I'm the type of person that you'll say, oh, my glass half empty. I say my glass is half full. So how you view it and how you see it can sometimes be the problem.
Okay.
I view and see things very differently than most people. And so I can't be married to somebody for 9 years and they be a part of my life on that level, help me raise kids that weren't biologically theirs and be a part, every sport he was introducing and being a consistent participant. So for the things that I maybe did not like, they're not going to take precedence over that. That's just also the way I was raised. See, a lot of what you do is what you see.
Yeah.
I never heard my mom talk crazy about my father. I never heard, and I can remember times where only she was there. I didn't grow up being a part of a lot of negativity because she refused to let it be that way. So it's the same thing, but I also feel like, too, the love part where does it go? Why? How are people so mad? But I'm sure that could play a part in what happens too, because a lot of what you read about us is not what happened.
Well, you people were like, wow, when you said, "Oh, we still live together."
Yeah.
Oh,
It was a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I mean, because most people feel like they're static, and maybe it's better to be apart during a tough time. But you guys were like, no, we still in the same house. And you were like,
well, the thing is,
and
you gotta
said
take a
in
back
the interview,
seat.
wasn't that the Wendy Williams interview? You said that
You gotta take a
we
back
have
seat.
we have to see each other.
Yeah. You gotta take a back seat too to what your children need. School is starting, things are happening. So who's more important here? Is it you or them? And typically when you see people that constantly have problems, they're thinking about themselves and their own issues. And I'm not saying that it's easy, but I can tell you this, when it's not easy, it's not anybody's business either. So that's probably the biggest difference. I'm not saying that things haven't happened and it hasn't been easy, but like, I think for us, remembering to still keep other people out. When we got married, nobody was there but us. Melinda is always there. That's what I said. She's always there. But there weren't a lot of people there. We did have the whole big thing later.
Yeah.
But when we first got married, nobody even knew.
Yeah.
And I just happened to go to change my last name like 6 months later, and boom, they told everybody.
Right.
So the way I feel like it started, a lot of that was really, really, really good, and there was a lot of good in it. So I kept that part in the forefront of my mind. And then too, it's not messy because I didn't ask for anything at all, period.
Yeah.
To each their own. No judgment for people who do. But a lot of times when you see people fighting it out, that's what they're fighting over.
stuff.
You mean about money
over
and
stuff.
stuff? Is that what you're talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Because see, our relationship didn't start based upon money. He was coming off 2 championships. I'm coming off 2 #1 records after 30 million records. Like, this was not about money. This was strictly about love and life and wanting to experience a different level of love. That is the one thing that we always had and have in common. So our relationship was never about stuff. And I said something the other morning when I said that we work for the lifestyles of our children, and that was misconstrued as saying like money. Lifestyle isn't just money. It can be what you get up and do every day.
Yep.
So when I read something like, oh, the NBA check stopped, so she checking out, that kind of stuff pisses me off.
For sure.
Because I gave a lot of me so that people could see me. And so that people could feel me from a different perspective. And what would I need money for when I've been out here since I was 12? I've been on the radio since he was in grade school.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So that makes no sense. This was, is, and will always be about love. Now it's about the love for our children. It really is annoying the way it goes now because everybody has a say.
Yeah.
But that's the one part that I think makes it more difficult. We always have to deal with other people's opinions, and we're just protecting the kids in the process because they're the only people that didn't ask for it.
How do you do that? Like, protect the kids from the outside? Y'all have so much love internally, what y'all have.
Honesty. I don't try to hide everything from them.
Yeah.
You see it, we talk about it. Period.
Yeah.
That's it.
Are they inquisitive about this? Like everything that's going on, especially the media opinion, or do they stay out of it?
Every kid is different.
Yeah.
So my 11-year-old got way more questions than the 14-year-old. My 14-year-old, Rocco, is more like, you know him.
Yes,
He's more like, he like his pops. He's more like, what? Man, that sounds silly, Ma. You saw that? That's so silly.
He like his daddy.
Yes, he really has the personality of a full grown man.
Yeah.
Like
He's been here before.
Yeah, he's non-affected. My 11-year-old is like, Ma, that's the girl that was saying that about you in the lobby. She not talking now. Like, yeah, he's about it.
Ready to go?
Yeah, we were in New Orleans, and somebody called me like, hey, you might want to get Romello off his live because he's going in right now. And I had to call him like, get out. He's the one.
Yeah.
And then my daughter is just like all things joy. She literally is like a Disney greeter. You know how when you go to Disney World,
all smiles.
Like, good morning, come in. She is that because we let them know that it's not what people say about you, it's not what people think about you, it's what you know. So do you know when she tells me, Mom, she didn't like my rain boots? What did you like them?
Yeah.
Did you feel good in them?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. That's our thing.
Let me ask you something. this is the strong Monica we've been hearing for like 5 minutes.
I can't help it.
Let me ask you about the weaker Monica.
Yes.
What makes Monica cry?
Ooh, losing people. That's so hard for me. And divorce is like death. So I cried a lot, and I cried a lot throughout this process. I cried a lot. I had to go on stage and perform right after they told me that my uncle had passed.
Monica.
And you know how close we are. Like, you know, learning about mortuary science, everything about that world for me was through him.
Yeah.
I cry if my kids are worried. And that was in the early stages. I think they were more, you know, kind of concerned about me, and I could see that. I would cry a lot. But what I did was I prayed through it. Sometimes your walk is more important than your talk. When I wasn't saying anything and I didn't want to be asked anything, it was because I knew I needed to get to a certain place to be able to process what was happening to me. It wasn't because I was being nasty. It wasn't because I didn't care that I signed up for a reality show. It was because my real reality was greater than everything that was happening around me. I just needed a minute. So now that I've had a minute, I've processed it, I'm back to who you know. But I was okay with saying, I don't know. You're asking me things I don't have an answer to. And so those are the things that made me cry, you know. So right now, I'm not crying a lot because I'm able to process. I was able to process it. I had to just demand that.
Where do you go when you cry?
Oh, I don't go nowhere. See, I'm a Scorpio, so if I feel like crying and I'm right here in your face, I'm crying right here in your
coming
face.
out.
It's not a special place.
Yeah,
it's right here, right now.
See, that's the thing about this whole, the way that I am.
Yeah.
There's no, and Shannon probably like, she ain't lying because
She
it's
ain't
a
lying,
lot.
right.
Yeah, it's a lot because, now the good thing is you don't have to keep guessing.
Yeah.
If I feel it, you know when I like you. You know when I love you, though. You see what I'm saying? So when I want to cry, I'm not going to, excuse me, it's about to come out right there, wherever I am. But that might be good. If I held a lot in over the last 24 years of being in this business, I'd be crazy.
Yeah, are we moving to the next one? She got to go.
They making us go.
She gotta go?
Monica, we can have you here forever,
Monica,
girl.
you leaving us, Monica?
No, Frank's like, no,
Yeah.
No.
not now.
You know, I just want to say, as I'm watching you go through this process of the divorce, personally, I was a little hurt, personally, because I was there in LA with you.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got the invite, I was like, who is this guy? Like, I was really like, who is this? Because
Defensive.
I was really defensive, you know, and I wasn't in the small inner circle.
Yeah.
But I've always been concerned about you, and you know that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we've
For sure.
had a really
sure.
tight friendship for a long time.
And I had a rough life prior.
And I was, exactly. So I was very worried about that.
Protective.
And when I went out to California to see you get married, I was really proud of you. And when I've seen you go through this process now of being here now and how you're handling it, I can say I'm truly proud of you, Monica. I really am proud
Thank
of you.
you.
And I really love you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for setting the example for so many people.
I
'Cause
love
there's
and
so many
appreciate
women,
you, though, 'cause
there's so
everybody
many
came
women
out.
that need that.
They really came. 400 people came to watch us. And listen, even greater than, I always say, it's not the day. The day matters when you're in the midst of the day, but the marriage matters and the memories matter.
Okay.
And what you did in the midst of it matters. And it's a difference in not seeing eye to eye and being beat up, torn apart, hurt, drugged through the mud. That's really not our story.
Amen.
So I thank God for allowing me to at least have that experience with a good person.
All right.
Even if you don't spend your life, you need a good person. But we had an enjoyable time then, but you saw all I went through prior. And I can appreciate being told that, hey, listen, I'm proud of you. Because you don't understand that I typically get the opposite. People worry about what folks saying on their job. Imagine a whole world get a say-so.
Yeah.
So it means a lot when you tell me that, because it's not been easy.
Thank you, Monica.